Welcome back and welcome to Business Extra. Tonight you join us at NordevCon. It's an event here at the King Centre in Norwich. It's meant to bring together the city's tech community and business community, two groups that might not always work together as closely as they possibly should. As you can see today is their Schools Day, where we've got young people trying to program robots to stand up using some very clever computer programming. We'll be finding out a lot more about that and about the event that's now in its 5th year in just a moment. But first, let's get this week's business headlines back in the studio.
Thanks, Neil. A new report claiming the European Union has funnelled an average of £135.7 million to Norfolk and Suffolk each year since 2007. The figure, which includes the value of grants and finance, has been put together by a group called the East of England European Partnership. It says local politicians and business leaders step up their lobbying for regional funding to be included in the government's plan for after Britain leaves the EU. The number of passengers flying from Norwich Airport last year topped 500,000 for the first time since 2008. The new figures say numbers went up by around 10%. They're putting it down to the launch of several new routes in 2016, including the return of year-round flights to Malaga and Alicante. The airport's MD, Richard Pace, is saying he's hopeful 2017 will see more progress, with more flights and destinations being added to their list. And finally, it should be a bumper few days for Norwich's pubs and hotels as the city welcomes the CAMRA National Winter Ales Festival. It's recognised as the second biggest event in beer in the country and is the first time it's been hosted in the city. It's bringing in around 18,000 beer lovers from across the country and Europe and helps our pubs in what is traditionally a quiet month.
Thank you very much indeed. Now you join us back here at NordevCon, here at the King Centre in the city centre. I'm joined by Paul and Emily, who are two of the organisers. So let's find out a little bit more about what's going on here and why. Thanks ever so much for coming on Business Extra this evening. Paul, I'll start with you. Well, through the glass behind us, what's going on today?
So it's a Schools Day today. NordevCon is all about bringing good technical content to Norwich. We get speakers from all over the country, in some cases all over the world. We have people coming across from Europe and from the States for this. And today is about getting kids excited about technology, and that's what's going on behind us.
So really big names as well. You've got Microsoft here.
Yeah.
It shows the level of the conference.
Absolutely. So we've had Microsoft here in the past. We've had Google here. We've had IBM, lots of other people.
Emily, the idea of this, why do it? Why put this event on over these few days?
Well, previously we've had a good attendance from local schools on the actual main conference day on the Friday, and last year was a dramatic increase. So it just seemed like a natural thing to do and actually make a special dedicated day for the 14 to 18-year-olds that are in the county.
So looking over the rest of the days, Paul, what other things happens during these few days?
Okay, so the Schools Day is quite new for us, so this is the first time this has happened. There are also 2 workshops going on for adults, for want of a better term, at the same time, where they're learning about various different software project management styles and different bits about code. This evening we have what's called our special, where we have a couple of 30-minute presentations. One's on digital marketing, one's on machine learning. And then tomorrow is our main conference day. We've got a keynote in the morning from Seb Rose, who's an independent software consultant. We then split into 5 tracks. There are various workshops and other sorts of software-related presentations going on. We also have a full business track, where people will be talking about all sorts of different business-related things to tech. And then Saturday morning, we've got much the same format again, different set of sessions. And we've got Juliana Mayer from local company Superpass, who are opening on Saturday morning.
But Emily, it's really a meeting of tech minds of Norwich and Norfolk. Is that probably the simplest way to describe it?
I would say that it is a way of engineers and developers meeting in the same place, transferring skills and networking to collaborate and actually bring the industry up to a standard here in Norwich and Norfolk. But at the same time, we really want to encourage the business community to engage with the digital community, because every business is going to be, if it isn't already, a digital business. So it does make sense.
Can there sometimes be a bit of a divide in that, you find?
I think so. With traditional business, particularly here in Norwich, we find a good amount of difficulty engaging with those sectors, but they are coming along. They're starting to, particularly in the past 2 years, as we've actually ran a business track. I think that's really important to show how business and technology can support each other to develop and grow the economy, not just for Norfolk, but for the whole UK.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul, Emily. And we've been speaking to a few of the people who've been coming along to NordevCon.
Yeah, I think it's really important to bring together both the tech community and the business community, and to get us engaging and sharing ideas. You know, my specialism in terms of business is about building and growing companies. So it's great for me to get to meet really interesting, energetic people who have got really cool tech ideas, and for me to work with them to see how I can help them commercialize that technology and create really interesting, innovative companies that will build growth and also jobs for the future.
It's a meeting place for a lot of prospective new students, as we can see with the school days today, but there's also a lot of companies and entrepreneurs here, and as a computing science providing institute, we want to have this strong connection both with industry as well as young people.
These are the kind of things that you imagine happening within London, and the things that, but within Norwich, you don't think of Norwich as being a real tech capital, but as we learnt this morning, it really is, with huge amounts of development going on within Norfolk, which is why it's so important to push that and to make our students realise that these opportunities abound within Norwich as well.
Norwich is labelled as the fourth great tech city in the country. So there's a great technical vibe going on in Norwich, and this is a great opportunity for that community to come together, to share some skills and inspire the current generation.
Just in the last 5 years where I've been involved in this community, the conference has grown massively in numbers. What started as just really a handful of people has grown to 400 or 500 people attending these conferences, which is phenomenal for Norfolk.
NordevCon runs over the next few days, with the businesses and programmers arriving tomorrow for their conferences and meetings. But today, as I said, is the Schools Day, where these young people are doing this robot challenge. But why is it so important to inspire the next generation and show them the opportunities that computing and programming could bring them for their future?
We're one of the big areas now for tech startups, and it's fantastic to see us encouraging the next generation of young people in this area to get involved in building more of those companies and making the companies we've already got better.
Today we have an inspirational technology day for young students, and we're building a microbit-based balancing robot. It has just 2 motors and it's trying to keep itself upright. So we have to use some algorithmic intelligence to be able to make that do it. And the students are both assembling the robot and doing that programming. It's mainly about inspiring the next generation of technologists. We need more technologists, we need more engineers going forward. So if we can inspire young people to follow a technical education and move forward to a technical career, then we'll start to have that right workforce in place so the UK can achieve more.
Tech is something that I know all of our students love to use, but they don't necessarily see the opportunities of being creators within that. So these kind of events mean that they get face-to-face contact with people who are doing the creative side of computing for real, in real life, and they get to talk to them about it, and they also get some experience and some help with it and see it as an opportunity and as something tangible, rather than something that they don't really understand how it occurs and how it comes into being.
We had to put all the parts together and we had to wire it, which I've never done before, which is really interesting, and keep them upright so the motors will go depending on if it's falling forwards or backwards.
It's kind of like first assembling Lego, so you have to put everything together with the instructions, but then actually using the JavaScript. It's really interesting to do it because I haven't worked with it like this before, and at the minute it can move forwards and backwards, but we haven't been able to make it stand on its side yet.
This is sort of a field that I want to go into and study when I'm older and hopefully work in, so it's really useful.
It does inspire me because there are so many people around here, and it's where you want to be when you're older, and you can ask them questions about how they got here, where they came from, and you never get this in Norwich at all. Sometimes you have to travel to London to experience anything like this, and it's just really inspiring in general.
The biggest problem that you always have with computing science, if you don't have events like this, it remains this theoretical thing where programming, I'm not really sure how that works, whereas people will walk away from this day today and they will say, I literally programmed a robot and I made it do what I wanted to do.
It sort of starts them off nice and gentle and be able to create the building blocks of how to create a computer program, but also in actually seeing the lines of program themselves, and they're picking it up amazingly well.
So that's everything from here at NordevCon at the King Centre in Norwich. As ever, you can get in touch with your business stories. We are at Mustard TV. The hashtag is Business Extra. Have a very good night.